the way they like they trying to bounce on a beat though. Yo, that's crazy. If you got a brighter booty, that means you getting more booty. Oh, it all makes sense. This first video, we're gonna watch some casual geo. Just another boring video about birds. The thumbnail was looking kind of crazy.
Oh my god!
It was like a big bird with some big bird breasts. So I'm like, we gonna see what we getting into. But hello, for those of you watching through the YouTube, I apologize for my nakedness. I got my pasties to protect my nippies, but yeah, my shirt was taken against my will by Twitch chat. So we're gonna be a little bit cold this time around, but we gonna sit back and we gonna enjoy. I hear you finally changed the back. Oh, here's back. Look, I changed my smoke alarm batteries a while back, so y'all don't gotta worry about alarm beeping. But let's hop in. Well, they're just horking that thing. Whenever I see this, I just think of the Pokemon that look like that.
And one thing they don't tell you about getting old. That bird washer phase really comes out.
Hello?
You'll just be minding your own affairs.
Hey, yo! First of all, let me turn it down a little bit. But oh my god! I'm sorry, but I would never. If I was with the homies and they recorded this and posted that, this bird trying to stroke they on me. Oh hell no! Like this bird is just thrusting on whoever's right here. Oh my god. What's good, Panda? The bird clapping cheeks. Yeah, you ain't. That bird gonna have to. That bird might have to just be thrown on the grill after that.
That is an immaculate looking grackle. We laughed, but the whole time he was right. The bird is the word. And is he wrong? Just look at Buddy go. I could watch that for a couple of minutes without getting bored. This is an American woodcock.
Oh, what?
They go by a lot of names, such as the timber doodle, the bog sucker, and the hokum.
The what sucker?
Partridge plug walk. Woodcocks eat worms, and it's believed that the cute little woodcock waltz to us is a Category 7 disaster to any earthworms below, and the confusion makes it easier for a hokum poke to poke 'em folks. They do their dancey dance in the name of murder. And clearly it takes some time for a woodcock to get the rhythm right. As you can see for this baby bog sucker, the beat is chasing them. They're
yeah, it's the way they like they trying to bounce on a beat though.
That's all you really can do when you're a little woodcock. Now, if I've gotten older, there's one bird I've really grown to appreciate. This is a blue-footed booby. Now I know what you're thinking. Let's address it.
Blue feet?
We'll get to that, but the blue-footed booby is a seabird of the.
You know what this look like? Well, actually, are these the same thing? This image in particular look like, you know how in like Star Wars or something, how they'll like make like a fake animal by just like getting a normal animal and making something like a certain features look weird. That's what that looked like, where there's like, all right, let's just make the legs blue or something. Where the blue-footed booby VTubers at? What's that gonna look like? What is that gonna look like? Is it gonna be like a VTuber with fat titties and they gonna be blue and they gonna have big blue fat titties and big blue fat feet? I don't know if I need to see a blue booby VTuber, a blue booby VTuber. Gosh, that could be a fun design to do. Just some fat feet, some fat titty, turn them blue, put some wings on the back, and we good. And we good. Just turn Kishin blue. Okay. Yeah, blue titty, blue feet VTubers. That way they can market the big titties and the big feet, cause that's the thing, right? Like when people like, let's say they bio say blue-footed booby VTuber in their bio, they're like, what? And then you know what that's gonna do? That's gonna pique curiosity, and that's gonna get them trying to look at their feet. Easy feet pics right there. You can monetize them.
The genus, along with the masked booby, the Nazca booby, Peruvian booby.
Okay, yeah. So those are all just the different boobies.
Booby.
There's a red. Well, actually, that doesn't look as crazy as blue-footed booby.
But to be fair, you might have only ever seen
like
blue.
The blue one.
Blue comes from the carotenoid pigments in the fish they eat. It's really no different from the shrimp that turns flamingos pink. And if you identify as Bugs Bunny, the
I didn't know that's why flamingos were pink.
Bluefoots, the color actually correlates to their health and by extension, how attractive they are to a partner. And there's no stolen valor in the system. Scientists did an experiment where the boobies starved for 48 hours saw an immediate decrease in the brightness of their blue. They took it a step further by taking a male booby, we'll call him a moobie, that already had a female laying egg in his nest and dulled his feet with makeup. His mate responded to the nerf by laying a smaller egg days later, one with less yolk concentration and therefore less of a chance of living. So yeah, the brightness of a booby means everything and is a literal blue check that verifies their immunological health. Funny thing,
they got the blue check mark on their feet.
Male mandrills look like they got rear-ended by a snow cone machine because it's
oh my god
status. The higher the status, the higher the saturation.
Ew.
The mandrill that gets regularly bullied and beaten will lose its cheek color. So that's why alpha mandrills look like they're constantly cotton candy constipated.
So
the brighter the butt, the more he procreates.
Yo, that's crazy.
Get more
if you got a brighter booty, that means you getting more booty.
Oh!
It all makes sense. Butt kind of cute. That was not cute. That shit looked blue and flared up. Inflamed blue booties. We talking about blue boobies and blue booties. Brown booby. Okay, that's crazy. See, that seemed kind of motivated. We already got green Kirby and Kishin Wazowski, so we might as well keep adding green Kishin variants. See, but that's the problem though. The more green Kishin variants there are, then the weirder and more confused people will get. Because I feel like people without context don't even know why the hell Kirby Kishin is green. Because what ended up happening was Kirby Kishin started happening more often than Wazowski. Even though Wazowski was the OG. Because more people redeem Kirby than Wazowski, but then also people don't use the Wazowski emote like they used to. So like the Kishin Wazowski branding has kind of like tarnished at this point. Like it's kind of washed. It's not as big as it used to be. So then if I keep just adding more and more green shit, it's just gonna be like, why the hell is he green? This is a red and black VTuber, you know, no racial. So why has he got all these green models? That's kind of weird. That booty look like Chris Brown's girl after a night at the club. Now that booty look like Silento. If you know, you know. And if you don't know, trust me, you don't want to know. You do not want to know. I was very unfortunate in witnessing what I learned about that one-hit wonder. Shrek Kishin when? Hello, Shrek Kishin? Oh hell nah. No, he literally said there's a brown booby bird. Oh, okay. Green pops off though? Nah. Guess we gotta bring Wazowski out more often. Not the Silento. Yeah, we don't talk about him no more.
Which is why their courtship display involves birds flaunting their colorway. It's like red bombs, but for crit. It honestly looks like they're on a mission not to crease their sneaks, and the final act of this dance involves the movie presenting his partner with nest material. Even though blue-footed boobies don't even make nests. Nah, instead they thug it out on the ground, while defecating 360 until the dried product forms a ring around the nest. Why? Well, as it turns out, boobies have a poor sense of smell, but great visual memory, and in a flock of up to 10,000, they recognize their nest by the specific ring of guano, and guano stands for gonna wanna stay in that ring, because somehow that visual memory doesn't apply to their children, and only chicks inside the septic center get fed. Baby boobies that leave the center not only don't get recognized and don't get fed, they said if you ain't coming home, you not getting fed. You better stay in this nest and you better not run off, because if you run off, good luck. Good luck. We ain't feeding you. You wanted to run from home. Get massacred by their own mother. Did I just catch you? Leaving the poop ring. That's not the only way a baby booby can get deflated. This seabird practices siblicide, because again, don't let the internet's unrealistic booby standards tell you otherwise. No pair of boobies are exactly the same. One's always a little bit bigger. And that's okay, it's totally normal. But it does mean the bustier bosom will bludgeon and bully the weaker chick.
Dang!
Watch the boobie get murked like mastectomy. It usually happens when parents are low on groceries, but sometimes the boobie newbie will catch a body just because. The Nazca boobie will yeet its
not the newbie boobies dying.
Studies have proven that boobies working together could easily feed both children.
Did I just catch you on the beach?
Alive. Yeah, it ain't all beauty being a boobie.
We love a good Boondocks
realistic
reference.
Boobie standards aside, they come in many colors like the red-footed variety, also from their diet, and they also use their feet game to secure a mate. Evidently, it might work too well, as not even a predatory coconut crab can resist getting grabby with an unsuspecting boobie bird. But there's more than just crip-walking unmentionables in the world. There's also tits. I've definitely grown to appreciate these fleet of flying popcorn chicken. Really nothing like
bro playing with fire.
Blinds to a nice pair resting outside your window. Tits
he said it's time to talk about some tits now.
Seasoned all across the world. Alright, let me stop waffling. Let's address the elephant in the room. In Eurasia and Africa, they're known as tit birds, but come to America and you'll find they're called
Pickadees!
So I get why you're confused. You got an Italian plumber with a Japanese creator using their American name. Understandable. That would trip up anyone. Now with the birds with the tit variety, how they got
we
their
love
name
some
is
tits
actually
out
pretty
here.
interesting. Back in the day, tit was more like teat, and teat
That's just
was an
having
Old English
that's
word
because
for
you having
little or
fun.
small, or even the suggestion of something small. Matter of fact, there was a time where it was used to reference a small horse or pony in the very derogatory. For example, no storing of pasture with baggly tit, with ragged with age, and evil at hits.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
Translation: Tommy had a problem with them horses. But yeah, tit means little, and if you don't believe me, pardonnez-moi français, mais petite means little. So that is un petit peu.
Oh, he said he went to Paris.
Also, an old-timer
you know who was in
mus
Paris?
referred to bird, and the game of telephone turning mus into mouse is how there's now a group of birds known as titmouse. English lesson aside, when it comes to birds, there's a lot of tits in the world, and they come in all shapes and sizes. My favorite is the long-tailed tit. Look at him. He's like my final boss of bird bias. It's one of Europe's smallest birds, cause you know, they tend to keep it pretty putsy, except in Sweden. They got big ones over there. In fact, it's home to the great tit. At about 5.5 inches.
The great tit is crazy.
They sure are. Can't leave the Americans out, so of course we gotta shout out Sultry Parus minimus, or the bush tit. And representing the aforementioned deep mouse is the tufted titmouse of Texas. Obviously they're found in more than just Texas, but ain't no stops in alliteration station. But back to my preference, the long-tailed tit. And not just because of shape, although I do like them round. I don't really have a preference. They're all beautiful. He's just built like a perfect snowball. And something about watching them
I'm saying, he know what he's doing with this video.
But also because they have a daycare system.
Like
nature just couldn't let a long-tailed tit rock. So they have a lot of predators like owls, weasels, and even unnatural ones like domestic cats they can thank us for. The war on tits means their airborne cotton ball has a high nest failure rate. But the thing is, if their family becomes compromised in the middle of their nesting season in May, because tits usually pop out in the spring, instead of usually what they'll do is help out.
Man, I know he was sitting here. Look, he had to be writing this, right? Like, I don't know. He's like, I was letting everything kind of slide because it's like, yeah, he ha. Nah, bro really said, hey, them tits pop out in the spring. Is that what happens, y'all? Is that what happens? Hey, it's springtime. I guess we see him more than pollen. I guess we see him more than pollen. Cut the video off. Slinging breast puns. Like, that is crazy. This should just be another video about boobs, because that's all he talking about. Damn. What are we talking about?
What are we talking about?
About a nearby nest. Now the helpers are usually related, but in a study, half of all the long-tailed nests had at least one and usually more recruits helping the cause. As you can guess, the chicks raised with helpers have a better chance of surviving a trip around the sun, and the experience means the helpers' future children have better luck at life. So basically these birds are the embodiment of it takes a village, and it's always a pleasant sight to see tits sticking together for the greater good. And I gotta say, out of all these birds, I really like the of this one. Also pronounced Giz is a term used to describe the overall appearance or impression of said bird, typically garnered from attributes.
I feel like he had to look up, like, what are all of the worst names for birds? Like, what's the most out-of-pocket bird names? And then was like, I'm gonna make a video about it. We talking about jizz birds?
Such as size, shape, flying pattern, posture, coloration. It's all about aura, the vibes. For example, some favor the J-work of a boobie. Me, I prefer the vibe of a long-tailed tit. Everyone has a preference.
What are you talking
I
about?
hope you didn't think we were done, because we also have the tit babbler of the family Tumulidee. Now you know where the TIT part spawned from, but the babble of it all referenced the constant babbling sounds they make. And obviously the naming guy wasn't into it. There's a lot of types of old world tit babblers, but probably the most famous one is the fluffy-backed tit babbler of Southeast Asia. And honestly, they're pretty.
The fluffy-backed tits.
At first, but I do see the fluffy part come into play, so having a name with babble, it's kind of disrespectful. Surely someone cares for what a talking tit bird has to say, but hey, they could have been done way worse. This is a dick sizzle. It's basically a cardinal you can find in the American Midwest and Central America. As in,
what did he say?
This is a dick sizzle. It's
a dick sizzle?
You can find in the American Midwest and Central America. As in, they have all their hanky-spanky fun times in the US Midwest during their breeding season from about early June to mid-August. Then, before fall, the symphony of sizzle dicks migrate en masse to Central and South America.
Sizzle!
On the ground, and
like it's sizzling on the pan.
Will run fades in the name of property development. So if you walk outside to a hyper-pigmented popcorn kernel running the ones, you, sir, have a case of aggressive dick sizzles. But considering
that's
they're
so
only 5
crazy.
inches long, you'd much rather hear those words on your front lawn than from a doctor in a clinic. And the same way the morning dove brings you back to waking up in your childhood bedroom, dick sizzle might have been your summer anthem and you didn't even realize it. In fact,
this is a sex joke bird.
Apparently after what the naming guy thought their song sounded like in words. And somehow that was enough to get named like an STD. If that's onomatopoeia, I wouldn't want to be ya. Speaking of which, this is the go-away bird of Africa. Same timing as Richard Sizzle. Their lore is that their call sounds like Kowe, which apparently was in the neighborhood of go-away. You know, at first I wasn't feeling it, but if I try really hard, I can make myself hear it. Or I could just be getting Barbied again.
Oh, Barbie! Those were vintage!
Did he not just curse? The fun thing about them is
they don't say birds and the bees for nothing.
There weren't other go-aways, or actually even other animals of predators. Conceptually, if that's true, that's really cool. And that's it for the onomatopoeia portion. Let's talk about the rough-faced shag. It sounds like a euphemism for the cultural appropriation of canine coitus. Really, it's a rare seabird endemic to New Zealand. Shout out New Zealand. A cormorant, if you will. You know what else is a cormorant?
Cramorant, the Pokemon. They be guzzling.
It's also called a king shag, and the rough-faced thing comes from the patch of dry yellow skin called the caruncle. Lots of birds have this, like the king vulture. By the way, do not Google caruncles on a pigeon. I'm serious, that ruined my whole vibe. For Big Shaggy, the caruncles really swell up and brighten during breeding season. Also, that ring around their eye turns an even bolder blue. It's really no different from the blue of a booby bird. Consider it amorous eczema.
Amaranth's a Pokemon, not Amaranth, Cramorant.
This is a sage grouse. And this is the part of the video that might
I'm gonna Google it. Oh god.
Oh my! And 2, those implants are inflatable gullet.
These are med? These are Boobies?
Of grouses will gather in groups called legs.
Look, they bounce a titty. Yo, I can do that.
And a courtship dance that you can actually hear from 3 miles away. It's very competitive, and they'll spend hours.
They be shaking their tits around for dominance.
The dominant male that gets to mate with pretty much 80% of the girl grouses there. Now let's be honest, you and I probably have the same thought.
The way they shaking is crazy.
Like an uppercase cry for attention.
Yeah, they got the VTuber physics.
Have the peacock problem, where their biggest flex often gets them flatlined by predators. Those chesticles mean guy grouses get griefed by eagles so bad that the ratio of girls to guys can be 2 to 1. But there's another bird that gets their legs in. This is an Andean cock of the rock, and shout out to Peru, that is their national bird, and that is who you can blame for this. They have one of the biggest globes in nature, that's how they look fresh out the shell. The cock of the rock will also gather in leks and also put on a show.
What of the rock?
I wish I had more videos I could show you, but apparently cock of the rocks are difficult to witness because apparently they're shy and easy to disturb.
He's about to say they're hard. He was about to say they were hard. We know what you doing. We know what you doing. We know what you doing.
Because even a rock cock can get performance anxiety. Again, it happens, it's totally normal. I mean, not to this guy, but with a name like Superb Bird of Paradise, thinking otherwise would be a failure of your expectations.
What is that?
Whether you see it or not, the bird of Peru really knows how to rock out with his cock. Okay, that's gonna do it for this video. I feel like with all the
he said I'm done with my job.
It's only right that I donate to the breast cancer organization, so link down below if you'd like to do so as well. Also, did you know 1 in 8 women will develop breast cancer? Stop playing with y'all health. Go get screened. A dead boobie.
Absolutely.
Also, I feel like I
can't he said dead boobies.
So if you like, I would appreciate if you like the video. Y'all know I usually don't ask that without offering something, but
he said, "Hey, look, y'all. I sat here And I sat here making booby, tit, dick, cock jokes about birds for 12 minutes. So go hit that like button. But yeah, look, I'm telling you, he just looked up. He just sat down and looked up all of the most out-of-pocket bird names he could find, and then looked into what they did. Oh my god, that was interesting.